Salut YouTube. Bienvenue sur cette rediffusion de Core Media Gaming Stream. Oh yeah. Avec Prime Matter, le nouvel éditeur attaché à Core Media, mais évidemment avec son consentement bien sûr, attaché. Donc voilà, allons-y. Quelle intro de merde. Le fun sera présent, mais oui. Regardez, on passe directement en plein écran. Incroyable. Et là, ça bug. Non, ça va.
Hello there, guys. My name is
Bonjour madame.
Today I have
On
three
est parti.
main tasks. The first one is to introduce you to Koch Media's brand new premium gaming label. Number 2 is to take a deep dive into some of the games coming to that label. And finally, number 3 is to show you what the new label will be getting up to in the streaming world. I want to welcome streamers who are co-streaming this today. Hello. Some of you guys are
Elle a dit les
guys who
co-streamers.
I've looked up to and
Bonjour.
watched
Allez, on
for
dit
many
bonjour.
years. And speaking of people who I've looked up to for many years, I am so proud to introduce Jeff Keighley, who will be helping me co-host us.
Mais il est partout, lui.
Entire list of games.
Geoff Keighley.
Jeff, how's it going?
Thanks, Opal.
Oh, mais c'est incroyable.
So great to be here with
Mais
you
il est
for
partout,
the
lui.
first ever live stream
C'est
from
incroyable.
Prime Matter. I was honored yesterday
Ah oui, il co-host.
to
Bah,
reveal the
forcément.
label to the world at the Summer Game Fest kickoff event. And wow, you've got a lot of games
Il a
there
pris cher
in
par
that
rapport à hier.
sizzle. Over a dozen games. So I know today you're going to go a little bit more in depth to talk about all these games, to talk to a lot of the developers. But for those of you that might have missed it yesterday or just want to see it again, let's kick things off with a look at that announcement sizzle reel for Prime Matter.
Yeah. La musique. Ta gueule.
Sometimes I ask myself what it all means.
Let's begin.
Oui, bon, on l'a vu hier. Mais là, on va en voir plus. Normalement. En tout cas, belle qualité de stream. Hein. Ah, c'est un peu trop fort, peut-être.
Is that who you are?
My purpose makes me who I am.
I finally have the feeling we're doing something worthwhile.
Being relied on to succeed where others would fail.
Prime Matter.
Yes, guys, you just saw 12 games and counting. And that's
Ouais.
just the start for Prime Matter.
Yeah.
But before we get into these incredible games, what I like to call the juicy bits, I want to talk to you about what Prime Matter is and who we are. Prime Matter is the new premium
pas de fond vert.
gaming label of Koch Media. It dedicates itself to delivering a range of immersive and diverse games from amazing development talent all around the globe. It highlights the varied influences of global studios and their different approaches to game making. The new label will lead through creativity and expression, with games that enthrall players with larger-than-life storytelling, create incredible moments, and above all, they're fun. The team behind Prime Matter is a melting pot of incredible
Alors là, elle explique à quoi sert
led by
Prime Matter.
seasoned industry veterans and complemented by a young, fresh, dynamic team of multicultural gaming experts. The team behind
Oh,
are gamers
Painkiller.
at heart, working with such
On va
a
peut-être
wide
voir
range
du
of
gameplay de
passionate
Painkiller. Ça
developers
m'intéresse par
producing
contre.
games together by gamers for gamers.
By gamers for gamers. J'adore.
And that being said, for all you keen-eyed individuals out there, you would have seen that one game was actually missing in our 12-game lineup for Prime Matter during the video. That is a game that comes from the Embracer family itself. Jeff got to sit down with Todd Hollinshead and talk all about
Jeff, il va reparler.
Painkiller.
All right, you saw the news yesterday. Yes, there is a new Painkiller coming, and Todd is
Painkiller.
joining me now to
Un petit peu de gameplay.
maybe give us
c'est
a
pas
few
mal.
more details. I know this is kind of a fresh project for the team at Saber, and you guys, first of all, I love that you and Tim Willits are there. Continuing
Alors,
to
derrière, il y a un
build
logo de
Saber.
Batman
And Painkiller,
sur le bureau
the
de
franchise-
Geoff Keighley.
You and I are both OG.
À votre avis,
we
est-ce que ça veut
remember,
dire quelque
it
chose?
was it probably 15 years ago at this point?
Parce que maintenant, ils aiment bien mettre des trucs derrière. Parce qu'on voit les Game Awards
My God.
et
All
on
right, well,
voit
but it's one of those classic games.
le Batarang.
Let me ask you, from a Prime Matter perspective, you
Ça,
know,
ça
you've
veut
been
dire
in the
qu'il y aura
industry
une
like
annonce
me all those
Batman
years
au Game
and we
Awards.
remember that game. Why was this a franchise that you guys wanted to sort of bring back?
Well, you know, Painkiller, when I played it back in
Bah, Gotham Knights,
2000,
ou peut-être,
this was a
ou peut-être
game
autre
that
chose.
had, you know, it was dark, a little twisted, intense, cool guns. These are the things that, you know, kind of hit the nail on the head of what appeals to me in a video
Je sais
game.
plus, le collecteur de
Both
Batman. Ouais,
as,
c'est
you know,
peut-être
as a
celui
fan
d'Arkham,
and then
mais en
also
mieux quand même.
as a
Parce que là,
publisher and
moi, il était pas
Saber.
comme ça.
So, you know, we're hoping to capture
Là,
those
il a l'air
same
d'être
sort of
mis dans
elements
une
and
espèce
bring
de
those
truc
into
en
the new
vert.
game.
Yeah, you know, you guys are certainly
Dans
masters
l'inutile
of doing,
conférence de Warner.
shooters from all your time at id, and Painkiller, you know, does have a lot of that DNA of, you know, fast-paced action with a little bit of a twist to it. And you know, the fact you guys are working with Prime Matter is also exciting.
Spoilier, c'est-à-dire?
You know, brand
Il y a
new
eu du spoil
publisher,
furieux?
brand new label. What do you think of the fact that they're doing this label, and you know, it's such a diverse lineup of companies and partners around it? You know, I know you guys work with a lot of publishers, but it's pretty exciting to.
Ah, mais
to see the
Crysis
label
2 et 3,
announced.
on le
It doesn't
savait
happen
déjà,
every
ça.
day.
No, it doesn't. And you know, I think that within the Embracer group, you know, it's just a business that is growing. We've got great leadership at the top.
C'est vrai que
and
le
so
Embracer
Koch Media
Group,
is, you know, wanting
qui
to
englobe
expand
en
their
fait
publishing, and I think that,
beaucoup de
you know, the
studios et
name they
notamment
chose,
Core Media,
Prime Matter, sort of
les
is,
mecs, ils sont
you know, sort of like
blindés,
the
c'est un truc de
primordial
ouf.
soup of putting together
C'est
stuff
ouf.
from nothing. So,
Ils rachètent à
you know,
tour
it
de
kind
bras
of
des
makes me
milliards de
think of this is
licences.
what we do when we make video games. You know, you sort of
Je sais pas
start
comment
with
ils font,
pixel
mais je crois que c'est
zero,
des
and
investissements
at the end of
privés.
the day, you make a game. So I feel like that, you know, that kind of resonates with
Salut, Matt.
hopefully the type of experiences that we're going to
C'est
be
l'éditeur
providing, you know, not
de JV le
just
plus prolifique au monde.
within
C'est
Prime
fou,
Matter
hein,
and
c'est
working
fou.
with them between
Je crois
Saber
qu'ils
and
ont
our
quoi? Ils ont pas
partnership, but, you know,
50 ou
across
80 jeux en
the-
développement. Enfin,
across the Embracer group
c'est
as
fou.
well.
Yeah, no, it sounds like they
C'est
have
pour ça,
a
on va
lot
peut-être
of
en
games
voir
in
combien
development.
aujourd'hui?
The
12
fact that you are bringing back
12 sur les
Painkiller is
80.
really exciting. And I know, you know, fans, of course, want to
109.
know a little bit about, you know, what's the game going to look, how's it going to play.
C'est beaucoup, hein.
Probably can't share a lot of details about it, but you're kind of in the early stages of development.
C'est
now on this?
énorme.
Yeah, super early, and you know, if anything that I would share, I'd probably get assassinated for back home once it got back to the developer, because you know all these
Developers,
the first
developers,
stuff that comes out
developers,
almost always
developers.
gets sort of iterated on and changed, and
Yeah.
so we're trying to keep
Oui, en
trying
tant que tel,
to
bien
keep the
sûr,
lid
bien
on
sûr.
the details until we have something that's going to be really
On n'a pas le
awesome to
combien,
show.
mais je l'ai pas lancé.
All right, well, we'll be waiting for it, and we know with you involved, it's
Oh,
gonna
ils vont
be
pas montrer de
something
gameplay?
very
Non, vous êtes
special,
sérieux, les gars.
fast-paced action, I have no doubt. So, new Painkiller
Absolutely.
coming soon from the team at Saber, published by Prime Matter. Thanks, Todd.
Thanks, Jeff.
I really
D'accord,
can't
très bien, merci
wait to
beaucoup.
hear more about Painkiller and the fact that
Bon,
Todd and Tim and the team at Saber are
ça sent la
working on
conf
it.
ou ça va blablater,
We're
hein.
gonna get something pretty special when they
va
are
être
ready to
compliqué.
share more. So, you know, exciting stuff in that sizzle reel, Painkiller, Payday, but I know there's a lot more we're here to talk about today as well, right, Opal?
Actually, Prime Matter has 12 games under development right at this minute. We're
Un
so
Inside
excited
Xbox.
to show you guys what us
Attendez,
and the
ça va être
developers have been up to.
commencé. À peine 8
However,
minutes.
before you see some of the content that we show you today, I do have to make it clear that some of this is pre-alpha, alpha, high-level concept, and some of it is about to release right around the corner. So please keep that in mind when you're viewing today's show.
Très bien.
That being said, how do you guys feel about a psychedelic third-person survival horror game set on what it means to
Survival
go on a journey
horror,
about
horror game
self-enlightenment
en
and
vue à
what
troisième
happens
personne.
when it all goes wrong. I got to speak with the developers of the Chant work in progress title about their game and who they are.
Salut Angrove.
Our game is about a group of people who go to a spiritual retreat to seek enlightenment, and they basically get a little more than they bargained for. And your character has to deal with her own personal issues as well as the cosmic terrors that become awakened.
Cool. So, what type of genre is this game?
And it's a bit hard to pin down with all the different influences and styles of gameplay, but I'd say we're probably a survival action horror game.
Okay. Cool. And what was the thinking behind that genre? Is it something that you guys like, or is it just it came left field? What's your decision behind that?
Personally, we always wanted to make a horror game. A big part of our core team have a background in third-person sandbox games, and we really wanted to combine, action mechanics, deep storytelling, and
Merci pour ton
we felt that,
24e mois
the horror
d'abonnement.
genre was a really exciting
Ah bah oui, mais si je l'active pas
space
aussi comme ça, espèce de
to
con.
take
Ah,
that
incroyable.
background and play around with.
So,
cool.
kind of sticking with the
cool.
horror genre, why did you decide to go with that theme? It's not really
mais oui,
like
je peux pas faire comme ça
normally
aussi.
what you would see. This whole
Ça ne va pas
spiritual
marcher. Parce que
awakening
si je fais ça, il y a
thing.
plus de
So
son,
what
je
was
crois.
the what was the idea behind?
Voilà, il n'y a plus de son. Ouais, je l'ai fait quand même.
Interesting territory to explore. There is, there's a lot of influence from that with like folk horror of the 70s and giallo horror and so forth that really inspired us more from a film standpoint. And taking that kind of aesthetic, something that was very sensational, very colorful, and mixing it in with kind of more action-oriented and exploratory game mechanics, we felt was a fresh take on the horror space.
So, kind of speaking about your
Summer Game Fest,
inspirations and
finalement.
stuff, what video games, real life media has inspired you to create this title?
Well, going way back when Resident Evil 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. Alone in the Dark, Eternal Darkness. So a lot of games are very inspirational to us. Our game actually started off as a game with fixed camera angles and so forth, and then we over the course of development. Just especially really focusing on bringing more of an action element to it. We've since switched to an over-the-shoulder camera and haven't looked back.
So kind of talking about changes and what you guys are doing on the development side, how close is the game to like the original concept? I understand you guys are still developing the game's quite far out, but from your original concept to where the game is now, how much is that different?
Alors c'est bien, ils expliquent un petit peu comment sera le jeu, comment ils développent.
Those are all,
Mais on
remain
aimerait bien
intact.
voir
I'd
quand
say our
même quelque
gameplay,
chose.
As our team size grew,
Tu m'étonnes,
we added,
Ils savent ce que veut leur
we added
public.
more, we added deeper mechanics.
Je demande même pas
I'd
du
say
gameplay,
more
juste un
action to the
screen
game.
de
Our
jeu,
game
voire même
actually
un
has a fair
logo.
amount of combat in it, especially on the melee side. Those
C'est
were
pas
things
E3,
that
c'est
weren't too
Blabla
prevalent
3.
in our
C'est
original
Blablacar.
concept. And a lot of those things are just kind of based on, we're a very small team at first. We're still a relatively small team, but every new person that joins, brings something new to the mix. So I'd say on that end, the game has evolved in scope and depth of gameplay.
S'en fout de sa recette de
Awesome.
quiche.
Kind of
De quiche
sticking
sans
on
pâte.
that point of, you got a small team, there's a lot of challenges that comes with that. What was the hardest
Salut
part
Slash,
of
merci.
making the game
Non
so
mais s'il y a
far?
ça à Config
The
Box,
hardest part was probably
impossible.
trying to make a game that has more realistic production values, because that's where
Ça fait
our
un quart
background
d'heure.
comes
Un
from.
quart d'heure, il y a rien.
On a smaller scale and budget. So for us, we had to be very strategic. Utilizing Unreal, we wouldn't have been able to build this game without utilizing an engine like Unreal. Previously, we had worked on more proprietary technology. And that's also great because, you know, new people that join the team can get up and running on the engine quite quickly. In addition to that, we've been using photogrammetry from the start. For both our environments. All of our characters are also scanned actors, and we're using, you know, also tapping into a lot of what's going on in our city. Vancouver has a pretty big film industry, so really tapping into the film and the effects industry.
Ouais, sinon ça va vous?
And tapping into that area of expertise.
Ça va, vous passez votre meilleure vie, tout va bien? Non mais ça va aller mieux après. Ça va aller mieux après, il va y avoir du gameplay dans 30 minutes à peu près.
And also kind of how rich Vancouver is. How much does that come in handy when you're working on the game?
Oh, it's been extremely beneficial. Vancouver, you know, is home to a lot of AAA studios. A large portion of us work together at Rockstar and United Front Games, and we also have people who have worked at the Coalition and EA, as well as some smaller independent studios as well. And in addition to that, you know, having the film industry here, where we can utilize, you know, local talent. We're working with
Et là, on est déjà à 15
minutes. We're scanning actors as well that we're using for our characters.
C'est ça.
And we're actually currently auditioning a couple
les bonus interviews des acteurs dans les menus DVD. Ouais, mais même dans les menus DVD, il y a des extraits de films. Et il y a des choses qu'on ne voit pas dans les films.
Doing a full cinematics push over the coming months. That's a real exciting.
C'est very exciting. Je suis d'accord avec le monsieur.
Sounds great. In terms of exciting things, when it comes to this game, what are you most proud of at the minute where you are?
I think the thing I'm the most proud of is just what a small focused team can do when they're all, you know, sharing the same goal and vision. You know, as I said earlier, we come from different backgrounds, but everyone's managed to come together and really deliver an amazing amount of work for the team size we have. And yeah, it's really exciting to be working on a smaller team again. And you know, just having that kind of energy where you know, you're working with everyone on the team day to day.
Yeah, I imagine that is a lot different to probably what some of you are used to coming from those massive studios. So finally, what are the benefits of signing up with a global publisher like Koch and also, you know, being featured on their brand new label?
It's truly an exciting place to be. We've been kind of pushing our game as far as we could, and this partnership is really helping to provide more reach and more resources, but I think most importantly also just having a partnership on getting feedback and helping to really expand and push the vision of the game. We've already received a lot of feedback on the title, and being a small team, we're often in our own little echo chamber, and you know, even in a short period of time, we've been able to act.
Plus jamais je me plaindrai de l'IA Play, plus jamais. Je vous l'avais dit, je vous avais dit au début.
Thank you so much for your time.
Attention.
It's been awesome to talk to you and find out a little bit more about what you guys are going to be offering for the new label. And I can't wait to let gamers finally get their hands on the content. So thank you for your time.
From psychedelic horrors to internet rumors, our next developer created the huge open world of Bohemia and took us on an adventure through the Holy Roman Empire. However, there have been some leaks that this action RPG may have a home on the Switch. Opal sat down with Warhorse Studios to try and get to the bottom of this.
Kingdom Come Deliverance on
Ah bah là on va avoir du gameplay. Le jeu il est déjà sorti.
Yes, that's true. Kingdom Come Deliverance is coming to the Nintendo Switch. And as you said, it's about gamers, devs, and games. In our case, or in this case, actually gamers play an integral part in the story.
What do you mean?
Mais non mais c'est une blague.
Well, some kind of confusion happened
mais c'est
at
une
the
blague.
end of last
non
year.
mais sérieux.
We Warhorse Studios were preparing the release of the Kingdom Come Deliverance Royal Edition on PlayStation and Xbox, but someone most likely ticked the wrong box in Japan, and it looked like it's going to be released on Switch as well. Of course, by that time there was nothing existing like that. We were not even thinking about the possibility that Kingdom Come Deliverance could go on the Switch. However, Nintendo Japan took this information, some Japanese media,
non mais il y a pas d'image. Non mais le jeu est sorti mais il y a plus d'image. Non mais il y a plus d'image. Il y a plus d'image, ils ont plus rien. Le jeu est sorti mais ils ont tout donné en fait. C'est-à-dire ils ont plus de développement, plus rien. Ils ont tout donné à la sortie puis c'est tout, c'est terminé, il n'y a plus rien. Ils peuvent plus rien montrer. Incroyable.
Nintendo of Spain.
Alors ici on est là pour s'amuser. On est là pour s'amuser, c'est incroyable. C'est magnifique.
Already existing open world games.
Incroyable.
On
Attendez, je vais ramener Kirby.
And if you clicked on the picture, actually you couldn't. There was nothing like Kingdom Come Deliverance, of course not, because as I said, nothing like that is existing. However, again, it created confusion. People were talking about it again, like, okay, so is it coming, is it not coming? But for us,
regardez-moi
actually,
ce beau petit Kirby.
And as I said, we didn't
Comme
think
il est beau.
about that until that time.
Regardez
For us, we
son
started
aérodynamisme,
to think
justement, qui lui permet d'être extrêmement plat et de pouvoir voler.
Actually talking about us,
Comme ça, il va
reaching
pouvoir
out
faire.
to us, like they seem to want Kingdom Come Deliverance on the Nintendo Switch. So we started to think, and since we are already in the Koch Media family or the Embracer family, and there's a lot of talented studios, so is Saber Interactive. And who but them would be actually capable of bringing the Kingdom Come Deliverance version on the Switch? So we sat together, and now we are here talking about the Nintendo Switch version on Kingdom Come.
So what you're saying is that a community of gamers made this happen?
More or less, yes. The community feedback we got, of course, was a big drive for this entire project. But this comes from our general background. So think of the Kickstarter project we had in the day. So without the community, there wouldn't be any Warhorse Studios.
MV est au bout de sa vie, c'est merveilleux.
So we always try to be very close to
Et
them
encore,
and working together with
nous
them.
sommes streamers,
And even
donc
coming
nous
up with crazy
devons
ideas together with
vous
them.
donner envie de
So,
rester.
For instance, the Savior
Restez.
Schnapps,
Il y aura Elden Ring 2 juste après là. Là à 21h59.
We have our own beer brand. We recently released a blue brick set, like
Attendez,
a building set for Kingdom Come Deliverance buildings. And now one of the latest projects is the Kingdom Come Deliverance soap bar, which should give you a really evil smell.
Attends, c'est une blague.
In
Le
that
mec
case,
il nous
I
montre
must
pas de
say,
jeu mais il
it
nous montre un
actually
putain de
medieval
savon.
smells actually pretty well. And we are coming up with crazy stuff like that all the time. Our next new merchandise project is a Farkle boxed board game, kind of. So Farkle, for those who don't know, that's like this Kingdom Come Deliverance mini game, a dice mini game you can play in the game. And now with Griffon Studios, we are coming up with a boxed version you can get and play Farkle at home against your friends or against your family or whatever. So that's pretty cool if you ask me. But generally, if you're interested in these kind of stuff, just check the Warhorse Studios social media accounts. You get all the information you need there.
Ooh, my favorite. Soapy hot news. Speaking of soapy hot news.
Non, arrête de parler. Arrêtez de parler à montrer du jeu.
The new label Prime Matter.
It's a huge honor, of course. We were working together with Koch for over 4 years already. In 2019, we then even became part of the entire Embracer family. So that was a big thing. And now being able to take part at the beginning of something new, be there when there's a new label being created, that is a big thing for us.
J'ai loupé quoi?
And especially if you consider that we come there as an established partner already, that is really cool, and we are looking forward to a bright future.
Thank you very much.
Oh merci, merci infiniment pour nous avoir fait chier avec ton putain de savon. Allez, au revoir.
Thank you very much and see you.
Non, si ou non.
Internet rumors back to reality.
Allez, putain, du gameplay, s'il vous plaît.
Deliverance for Switch as we get it.
All right, let's move from RPGs to
non, mais
FPS games.
Non, mais Joff, non.
Final Form, which is a working title, is an action-packed sci-fi adventure where you play the role
mais même lui, il en a plus rien à foutre, il est en train de lire un texte.
Spaceship sent on a mission to the edge of the known
il en a
universe,
plus rien à foutre, le mec il lit.
Le mec qui lit.
Parce que Joff qui lit. Oh, du gameplay incroyable. Profitez-en, ça sera le dernier. Ah bah, c'était court mais intense. Ah, c'est pas fini, pardon. J'ai été mauvaise langue, excusez-moi. Ça y est, c'est parti. Ça y est, c'est parti. Ah non, c'est pas parti. Non, c'est fini.
Final Form is an action-packed, epic sci-fi FPS in which you are a female-formed humanoid machine on a space mission with no return.
At the heart of the game is a mystery and alien worlds to explore, but also an adrenaline-fueled combat. In Final Form, it's all about the freedom and power of movement, being a machine unrestrained by human weaknesses. There are numerous abilities and gadgets that come with your robotic body, so you can give yourself
bon,
away
du
to
fast
the fantasy
FPS.
of becoming an unstoppable cybernetic goddess.
Apparemment, on est assez
blazing away
faible, mais bon,
spectacular
il faut passer son temps à esquiver.
Raken is located in Warsaw, Poland, with additional team members located all over the world. The studio was founded and is managed entirely by game developers. Since the success of Ruiner, we've grown quite substantially. Currently, Raken is over 50 brilliant game creators, and counting. We are not a huge team, but what we love to do is to evolve together with our projects, constantly finding smarter and better ways to achieve something truly unique. We build our work environment just like we make games, aiming for the best
C'est les mêmes images en continu.
Personal fulfillment. We strongly believe that the well-being of team members needs to be taken care of first, before we can pour all of that love into a game.
C'est aussi pour ça qu'on aime le 3, les gars. C'est pour des moments comme ça. C'est pour vivre des moments comme ça. Abonnez-vous à la chaîne de Bibi. Parce que des moments comme ça, on n'en vivra pas tous les jours, ça c'est clair.
And in the meantime, please enjoy the rest of the show.
Ah cool, juste après c'est Dolmen avec Ingrid Chova. Est-ce qu'on aura du gameplay? Ça je ne sais pas.
I have to say, guys, I love the soundtrack from Final Form.
Bah ouais, tu m'étonnes.
Our next game, which is just as special. What if you took Lovecraftian and Gagaris themes and mixed it all together with hardcore RPG elements? That's exactly what Massive Works Studios are doing. I got to sit down with their CTO to talk about their game, Dolmen.
Oh, c'est du gameplay incroyable. C'est une world premiere en plus.
Let's speak now to Gabriel Ferreira, CTO of Massive Works Studios, who joins us now from Campinas near São Paulo in the southeast of Brazil. Sir, Gabriel, what is Dolmen about?
First of all, it's a pleasure to be here and to participate. Well, so let me tell a little bit about what Dolmen is. Dolmen is that kind of game that where the hero needs to save everyone from an alien threat. Fighting with all kinds of monsters and struggling to keep going forward. Yeah, that's the kind of game that Dolmen is not about. In this game, you actually save the drillers, which is the alien species that live on the planet.
La prochaine
but you're going there to
on fera une
help
interview
company
comme
save
ça.
its investment.
Oui. Alors, oui, bonjour, je me présente. Alors, je vais vous présenter mon nouveau jeu vidéo ce soir. Alors, comme vous pouvez le constater, c'est un jeu avec des éléments de RPG. Et donc voilà, c'est vraiment exceptionnel. N'hésitez pas à venir. Et évidemment, bien sûr, mettez le jeu dans votre wishlist. Merci beaucoup. Allez, abonnez-vous surtout.
It is a hard game. It's a hardcore game. It's inspired on Souls-like, so yes, we're going to die a lot.
Awesome. Thank you. So, when thinking about the name
Mais
Dolmen,
on verra pas de gameplay.
On
a chié sur la gueule de Microsoft parce qu'il n'y avait pas de gameplay. Mais pardon, mais
So,
il n'y a pas de gameplay.
Many things that came to our mind when describing the name of the game. Dolmen, which means a single chamber tomb, a megalithic tomb. We thought it would be a good.
Mais oui, il lit le texte, ça se voit. Alors, mon jeu, il est vraiment exceptionnel et c'est vrai que c'est franchement sympa parce que je trouve que justement le gameplay est très enrichi. Alors que
bringing problems to everyone that is around, and we wanted it to be the main piece of the game.
Cool.
J'ai pas envie de me moquer parce que faut pas se moquer. Mais sincèrement, si c'est pour faire ça, fallait rien faire. Parce que c'est pas intéressant. C'est pas intéressant. Tu vois rien. Au final, tu n'apprends rien réellement. C'est
late 2016, so it's been almost 5 years now.
C'est pour ça que je vous dis, la conf après IGN Expo, moi je la fais pas. Hein. Parce que là déjà j'en ai plein le lion.
Either our community, the Kickstarter,
dans le cas présent, on peut se
you guys, I believe would not be here.
Moi j'avais prévenu tout le monde à moi. Moi j'avais dit, ça sera pas une conf de ouf. Ah, Souls-like.
You know, are there other games that inspire
Donc ça veut dire que le jeu, ça
also,
sera Souls-like.
What games do the teams like?
First of all, regarding inspirations, a lot of games came to us when we were producing.
Alors là, il regarde son portable, il en a plus rien à foutre. Alors attendez, mon portable, il vient d'avoir une alerte là. Je regarde.
We really love Souls-like games, so Bloodborne, Dark Souls. Those games were our main inspirations.
Une alerte sub.
We drew inspirations from all different kind of sources. So we had inspirations in Dead Space.
C'était un nude. Il a reçu un nude. Il en a reçu un deuxième. Il doit se dire, ouais, alors mon jeu, il a 2 crosspair. Pardon, je veux dire. Un troisième.
For example, Alien, Geiger, and those were our main inspirations. About games that we most like and games that our team likes, it's really hard to say because we have a team that ranges from liking Dota to CS and Souls-like games. But what I can really tell you is that everyone of our team is passionate about the project because they love doing what they do, which is a hardcore game.
Yeah, and that makes sense as well when you get hands on Dolmen, all these inspirations that have come in. So the game is set in a sci-fi universe. Is there any specific reason you decided to go down that route? Was there any other routes that you considered at first?
Yeah. Well, the humans are afraid of what they don't know. And the universe has infinite possibilities. There is always something unknown we can explore in space. So that sci-fi setting really.
Que ça donne de la visibilité au studio, je suis d'accord. Mais pour que ça donne de la visibilité, il faut montrer des choses quand même. Je veux dire, malgré tout, tu as quand même développé un jeu, tu développes un jeu. Faut quand même que c'est une conférence où on va te voir. Donc c'est le moment de montrer quelque chose. Si tu montres rien maintenant, tu montres rien nulle part.
No, absolutely.
Jamais, c'est ça le problème. C'est ça le problème. C'est le moment de montrer des choses parce que c'est l'E3 et ils montrent rien. C'est contre-productif. C'est contre-productif.
yeah, there were a lot of challenges that we
Tu vas tout
faced
traduire pour la rediff
along
YouTube,
this
bien sûr.
5-year journey. We obviously had to adapt our workflow in this late years. So 2020 and 2021 was a really challenge for us, but it was something that we could adapt well, especially because even that we're based in Brazil, we're not only based in a single location in Brazil. We have people spread across the country.
C'est une réunion Zoom.
So it was easy enough to
On fait un grand débrief après. Oh, bon, moi, le débrief, il va être très vite.
But there were several
je vais me
challenges
couper après.
since getting development
Camoulox,
kits
je m'arrête
and
sur ça.
finding people that are really capable of helping us to deliver this amazing game, and that's what we gathered, and that's something that our company appreciates the most and really gives value is the people that we work with. They were really incredible people, and they were really
Il y avait son écran qui s'était éteint, il a utilisé la souris.
Really cool.
Ah merde, putain, l'écran il s'est éteint, il s'est mis en veille.
Theme of development and challenges. Given how development and technology often dictates how a game evolves throughout its development.
En fait, c'est du direct dans le sens où c'est enregistré, mais c'est en live. Mais c'est enregistré. JC a arrêté son live. Ah, JC, il a arrêté aussi.
Point of views on that answer, especially because we started really small, and in the journey of the game, for example, it started as a concept from
non, nous on va aller jusqu'au bout.
Nous
on est là pour le soutien et on va aller là jusqu'au bout. On va les soutenir jusqu'au bout. Mais pas jusque 23h par contre.
Diverged in two senses, and one of them, when we first started the game is huge and is insane and has.
Ben oui, le game il est huge, il est insane, mais montre-le.
It has all this universe around
incroyable.
So a lot of it has
on revient sur ce qu'on disait tout à l'heure. Il nous dit il est insane, il y a des trucs de gameplay à la Dark Souls, l'univers est incroyable. Montre-le. Même avec des estampes, même avec des fonds d'écran, même des images, même des artworks, je m'en fous. Mais montre-le. Là, tu ne montres rien. C'est ça le problème, tu ne montres rien. Moi je peux faire pareil demain. Alors oui, je développe un jeu, il est exceptionnel, il est incroyable. Alors c'est un univers Dark Fantasy dans un jeu Dark Souls. Franchement, je vais vous faire ça, vous allez me dire, tu te fous de ma gueule. C'est très regrettable, c'est très regrettable. C'est le moment de montrer des choses, il montre rien.
Absolutely. And speaking about like making the game and the development of the game,
il y a du gameplay sur Steam.
As well. What was the hardest part of making the actual game?
I believe that
il y a du gameplay sur Steam.
We could have gone into
et il y en a pas là.
Different
non, mais sous notre gueule.
Especially, for example,
we could have
wanted to make it
il y a du gameplay sur Steam,
simpler or smaller,
mais pas là.
Or not have that many hours of gameplay.
Ah, mais c'est pas ouf. Ah, d'accord.
But we decided
mais il y a du gameplay quand même.
to go to a hardcore game, even that is a first game of our company. So we decided to go full in into that challenge. We faced a lot of challenges, as I mentioned previously, but I believe the hardest part of the game was finding the correct professionals and focusing on what we were doing, and keeping yourself focused for 5 years on a single game is something that is challenging for everyone, especially right now.
Oui, c'est un jeu apparemment qui s'est inspiré de Dark Souls.
But we wanted to make that.
Voilà.
Yeah,
une courbe sur un éditeur de jeux vidéo, tu ne vois pas de jeux vidéo. Ça gueule aussi sur le chat.
There's a lot of that I could keep talking and talking about. What is the harder?
Ça roule, Alex. Merci, à tout de suite. Ou à jamais. Si tu reviens pas ce soir.
Finding that balancing fit. So the game that is not unfair, but is hard. So we wanted to aim hardcore players. So this was really something that was hard.
So you mentioned like 5 years of development, which is a crazy long time. How have you kept yourself motivated? How have the team kept themselves motivated?
Attends. Non mais là, non mais ça fait 5 ans qu'ils développent le jeu.
But I would say that most of all we were always having.
Alors je sais pas combien ils sont. S'il est tout seul, je peux comprendre. Mais ça fait 5 ans qu'ils développent le jeu. Et il n'y a pas de gameplay.
Making a meeting,
non mais attendez.
Showcasing what we are doing and working alongside each one of us. Also, a lot of things that happened before COVID was
j'ai mal entendu.
C'est
pas possible.
So showcasing the game to everyone and getting the players to play the game and see how they react, it was something incredible for us. It really made us feel proud of what we were doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like everyone's missing that event feeling, right? When you actually get to see people on the games and you're like, oh wow, everyone's loving our games. I think it's something
Mais moi je veux bien l'aimer son jeu. Non, on voit rien.
Speaking of kind of motivation and happy times, what are you most proud of this game? What have you guys worked on that you're like, yeah, we did that?
I believe that the universe.
Qu'est-ce que j'aime bien dans mon jeu? Mon poster.
Is amazing. It has a lot of background from it. So, for example, we even made some comics for it that we prepared. We have a lot of story, some crazy cinematics. So we're really proud of the universe that we created.
Ah, il y a une démo. Ah bah super.
This game that we made and. Achieving what we did is what makes us feel proud. And now that we have partnered with you, getting to expand that universe and getting to get closer to our original concept and what we meant for it, that is something that makes us really happy.
Cool. Awesome. Speaking of partnership with us, what are the benefits of signing up with a global publisher like Koch on their brand new label?
That's really that's
Même
really
lui, je suis sûr, il doit se dire, mais putain, arrête de manger le cerveau.
Koch really
Arrête de manger le cerveau, j'en ai marre de parler.
Of the operation that
faut que t'ailles soutenir AMV, je crois qu'il craque.
Make it for ourselves.
Non, AMV peut pas craquer. Non, c'est le boss, il peut pas craquer. Pas lui, pas maintenant. Après tout ce qu'il a fait.
Different countries and players everywhere. We have a great producer that worked with us, helping us reach our goals.
Olex, t'as raté quelque chose.
Really
tu sais que le jeu, ça fait 5 ans qu'il est en développement.
And without Koch
ça fait 5 ans qu'il est en développement.
And being part of this new label is a great opportunity
ça fait 5 ans.
For us.
Il a dit, alors c'est très challenging, c'est comme Dark Souls, et il veut qu'il y ait des bonnes réactions de son jeu.
We really thank you for this opportunity.
Absolutely. We are so happy to have you guys on board. And more importantly, I am so excited to actually let people play this game at some point under this new label. So thank you so much for your time, Gabriel. It's been awesome talking to you. And yeah, let's release Dolmen at some point under the new label. Thank you for your time and see you later.
Thank you. See you.
Now, the first title from Prime Matter will be
the
conférence
Zoom.
Highly anticipated King's Bounty 2. We have a first look at the gameplay trailer.
Mais même Geoff, il est en train de dire, il s'en bat les couilles.
With CEO
il est en train de dire, alors, on va regarder du gameplay. Oh, incroyable.
The balance is off. Our land, Nostria, dances on the knife's edge of fate. King Claudius, my father, cannot lead, and his absence has set the realm in motion.
Le roi qui vient de tomber, c'est nous quand on est sur le
stream. Now the burden of the crown falls onto me. Nostria was flourishing, but there is unrest.
It used to be beautiful here. My wife and I had a nice life then.
Conspiracy, sabotage, necromancy. They all threaten this land asunder. But we must unite, for distorted terrors are advancing. Rumors tell of a false prophet, putting our hope in something that does not exist. A seer foretells that our savior
Ah, vous plaignez pas, il y a du gameplay là.
is among us.
Regardez, c'est Maximus.
People of Nostria, you laid faith in my father. Do so to me. We must look towards the horizon.
Ah oui, non, c'est Joël, c'est vrai.
The darkness. And preserve the light of our land. For Nostria.
Bon, enfin, allez, c'est parti. King's Bounty, non pas Booty.
Hello there, guys.
King's Bounty
Thanks
2.
for joining me, and I am joined by Nikolai Barinshnikov.
Allez, on est parti pour 20 minutes.
Who is CEO and creator of King's Bounty 2. So
Ah,
King's Bounty has been
Bounty.
years in development and has a 30-year pedigree. So what is it that makes King's Bounty 2 so special?
The original King's Bounty was a grandfather of games of series like Heroes of Might and Magic. So it created this turn-based gameplay when you have a hexed-based battlefield and the troops are moving in turns. Like chess pieces on the board. So I think that's the key, the cornerstone of King's Bounty.
Absolutely, and kind of speaking about that, and I know as you mentioned, the first King's Bounty was 1990, and then you had the King's Bounty that you guys created in the 2000s. What technical improvements now that we're in 2021 are you most excited about implementing into the new King's Bounty 2?
Well, I'm a huge fan of the core aspect of the game with tactical battles, and if in the previous games the battlefield was always a flat surface. So now we're bringing the battlefield into 3D. So we will have, line of sights, hills, like simple example, if your archers are located on the hill, they will do like extra damage for the high ground, etc. So moving the battlefield to 3D is a huge step forward. And then the whole role-playing part, the exploration part, we decided to move more towards
Là, il parle notamment de la 3D.
que
pour eux, c'est un
pas
en avant. Step forward? Non.
C'est tiny little character on the horse just galloping around the map. So we are moving towards this kind of epic fantasy.
De toute façon, on comprend rien avec le micro qui sature.
This is not like a small indie title anymore. This is one of the biggest production we've done in Moscow so far.
So speaking of the other King's Bounty games, will this King's Bounty 2 follow the other stories of the games, or will it be a standalone title?
No, the game will not follow on any previous games, but even the previous King's Bounties, they all sort of like disconnected. There was like the main protagonist, there are a bunch of like, evil guys, there's like a small quest. And I would say that a previous King's Bounty, it was not like an epic RPG adventure, so the game was more about just battling random monsters on the map and solving some little quests. And then King's Bounty 2 is really, a epic adventure. We had spent like dozens of hours solving puzzles, working with different factions, making decisions that change the character.
Il y aura des choix, il y aura des factions. C'est épique, comme Mickey. Et c'est un RPG exceptionnel. Je vous traduis. Donc là, il dit que il a fait une salade de pâtes ce matin, et comme ça, du coup, il pourrait manger ce soir après le Core Media Streaming Gaming. Donc là, il dit justement que c'était très tactique parce qu'il devait mettre la salade avec les morceaux de tomates. Et donc, du coup, avec la sauce, c'était un peu compliqué parce qu'il a mis un peu de béchamel au-dessus. Donc, c'était pas facile. D'où l'environnement 3D qui était un step forward. Voilà, donc il l'a faite en 1996. Parce que c'était le moment justement de la préparer. Ah, ça c'est moi ça. Attendez. Même Firefox, il y en a plein le fion.
So
Incroyable.
we're trying to enhance it in every possible direction.
Yeah, cool, awesome. Kind of speaking about the story of King's Bounty 2 and how it differs, it appears to have a darker, more gritty aesthetic compared to its predecessors. What was the design philosophy around that? Why did you decide to go with that instead?
That's an interesting question. We've been debating on the design approach. And again, as I said,
pas moi, les
we
trucs
spent
Windows.
a lot of time prototyping, working on the core gameplay and the
J'ai rien
voice and
fait,
the art
monsieur,
of the
madame.
game. Previous game had this more cartoonish kind of fancy.
Ah, la réunion Teams va bientôt se terminer.
We're trying to make a
La
much
réunion
bigger title, big game, an epic adventure. We've been astonished by modern
Windows, il va
fantasy
mettre à jour.
titles both in
Il va
Hollywood
mettre à
and
jour.
in games, and we thought that this is a good idea actually to upgrade.
Mais si on a eu du gameplay il y a 5 minutes, il y a 5 minutes on a eu du gameplay.
It's not a dark fantasy like Kingdom Come, where dirty peasants, everything is bad. No, it's more like, as I said, like high fantasy, epic characters. It is a dragon. It looks like a dragon, not like a toy. It is a villain. He or she looks like a real bad person. So that was the.
J'essaye de meubler comme je peux. Hein.
Game development
J'essaye de vous tenir au courant de toute cette émotion que vous ressentez au plus profond de votre être. Non, madame, relancez pas. Non, plus de questions. Même le mec, il en a plus rien à foutre. Hein. Là, le mec dans ses yeux, il me dit j'en ai plein le cul. Merci beaucoup. Par contre, je vais repartir faire ma partie de Hearthstone. Hein.
Yeah, so we've mentioned that this game combines different kind of ways that you can play the game, basically, from third-person RPG elements to this unique fighting system, this kind of chess-like fighting system.
Oui.
Kind of, why did you choose, with the evolution of game design and how people play games, why did you choose to stick to these hybrid game mechanics? Do you think that this is kind of what makes King's Bounty King's Bounty?
Absolutely. I think you got it spot on, so I don't even need to answer. King's Bounty is
c'est marrant, c'est vrai.
Is a grandfather of turn-based games. So if you remove tactical combat from King's Bounty, then
vous exagérez, 1 heure de conférence, 55 minutes de blabla, non.
So we can
Il y en avait 56.
Evolution of this gameplay, make it more fun or realistic, but obviously this is the core. So this is a tactical game with a lot of role-playing aspects and high fantasy aspects, and not the other way around. So again, gamers who like RPG with shooting elements, games like Cyberpunk, this King's Bounty.
Voilà, donc du coup, si les gens, les gamers aiment le côté RPG, du coup ils aimeront bien King Bounty. Enfin, King Bounty.
World that you're creating when it comes to the fighting style, and then these RPG mechanics and making this world feel more alive and more exciting. What was actually the hardest part of you making the game? What took the longest time? What kind of caused you the most headaches?
Hard to say. First of all, this multiple platform game, so there are specific technical issues that prolong the development. If you make just, let's say, a PC title or just a PlayStation game, then you are not having a headache of porting to different platforms, getting different specifications, TCRs, approvals. So that adds a lot. And then secondly, the production itself, as soon as we went away from this kind of cartoonish easy-looking isometric view into a 3D
vue isométrique.
Fantasy and the production of assets. So we
Et ça sera facile, mais pas trop. On arrive encore à être 181, c'est miraculeux. Merci à vous. Merci à vous de regarder ce live et ce stream avec King Bounty 2. J'espère que vous appréciez, j'espère que vous passez un très bon moment. On perd pas son temps. Là, ce soir, clairement, on perd pas son temps. Les mecs qui sortent du billet qui gueulent. Oui, on se soutient. Voilà, vous en avez pour des hours and hours and hours, donc ça veut dire beaucoup d'heures. Comme cette conf. Voilà. En fait, vous allez jouer 5 minutes, vous allez penser que vous allez jouer 5 heures. C'est la même chose. C'est comme quand vous regardez cette conférence.
No, absolutely. And then the final question, what are the benefits of
la dernière
signing up
question,
with a
parce qu'après
global
c'est fini.
publisher like
Faut aller
Koch
bouffer.
and being on their brand new gaming label?
Il y a la mi-temps. Il y a la mi-temps du foot.
Lot of additional support because I'm not sure that all gamers understand how games get to the market. So making
On est toujours à Porto qui fait le con. Merci.
pieces of code or drawing this amazing sketch of a dragon.
Non mais il y aura un One More Thing après. Il y aura Elden Ring 3.
So it's like yin yang. You need a lot of support. From production people, testing, localization.
Il en a plus rien à foutre, il est en train de lire son texte et je crois qu'à un moment donné il se dit alors par contre je sais plus, je suis où là. Alors, attendez, c'est quoi la question 12 alors, ah oui, c'est ça que je dois dire. Oui.
With Koch Media, that seemed to be the ideal partner. So,
qui déraille.
We're on the market for many years, and
le match est chiant aussi. Ah bah ça va. Ah bah c'est une soirée à se faire chier aujourd'hui.
That we might not have the human resources to deliver
oui.
The information
oui.
about the game. The game
apprenez à dire oui. Oui. Oui.
Platform holders as effectively as in
et putain, il me reste 3 pages à lire. C'est pour ça qu'on a entendu de trucs Windows. Il a fait la page suivante et Windows il a fait vous voulez sauvegarder? Oh c'est pas fini, il y a encore un truc. Il y a Scars Above. Oh mon dieu, c'est pas fini. Oh mon dieu, c'est pas fini. Arrêtez monsieur, arrêtez, non mais c'est bon. Merci, allez au revoir.
We have 12 titles. We keep saying it. And honestly, I shouldn't have a favorite. It's like picking between
Attendez, elle a dit combien?
However, this next title speaks to me.
Elle a dit 12 jeux.
Level, unlike any
on n'en a pas vu 12 hein.
This third person action adventure shooter.
On n'en a pas vu 12 hein.
Will keep you up at night.
On va pas se taper les 12 ce soir, je vous le dis hein.
Nightmarish creatures. Think Alice in Wonderland meets Alien, or as one US journalist put it, Tomb Standing. Guys, sit back, relax, grab a pillow, because you get a world exclusive look at Scars Above.
Ah super, merci. Enfin du gameplay. Oh, enfin du vrai gameplay. Oh mon dieu, incroyable. 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 Bon, enfin après le jeu, voilà. Mais incroyable. Du gameplay. Waouh. World premier.
Telemetry check. Here go.
Ah oui, mais c'est Tomb Raider en fait, d'accord.
Wow. How is this
bon, je dis ça, mais c'est pas dégueu, hein. Pour un double A.
What planet is this? How did I end up here?
Encore un jeu Dreams. Arrêtez avec ça, putain. Ah, mais oui, on l'a vu dans le trailer du début.
The gate has an internal conduction system. The 3 points on the rim seem sensitive. A targeted blast of electricity should cause a reaction.
Ah ouais, bien sûr, Victor, bien sûr.
The debris. It's from Hermes. It must have splintered off as it entered the atmosphere.
Mais on est d'accord que ça dure qu'une heure, hein. On est d'accord que ça dure pas plus d'une heure, hein, le Core Media Gaming Stream. Hein. On est bien d'accord, hein. Non, c'est pas 2 heures, hein. Non. Ah, ça par contre, ça me plaît. Ça roule, Kaizen. Ciao, ciao. Ah, ça peut me plaire, voilà, enfin. Enfin, un gameplay qui m'intéresse. Ah, c'est pas compliqué, c'est le seul. Bah après t'as le IGN Expo, mais on le fera pas. Hein. On est plein le cul. C'est Returnal.
The whole place is covered with some kind of organic residue. Looks like Robinson managed to connect the MPU to the pillar.
Il y a Monsieur Plouf qui dit sur Twitter: à tous ceux qui regardent la conférence Core Media, courage, c'est bientôt terminé.
This will help me get through that tissue webbing, and I'm taking the MPU.
Bah, n'empêche, ce que je vois là me donne envie. Hein. C'est ça le one morphing peut-être de Core Media. Non, c'est pas mal, il y a un truc, il y a un truc.
Who were the architects of this place? Did they
Ouais,
build
IGN
these
c'est à 22h.
towering monuments to serve
Mais c'est pas sur la
purpose,
même chaîne, je crois.
or as a testament to their might? Were they looking for answers or solving a problem?
On a un peu eu Payday 3.
Oh my god! This thing was huge.
Et il y a des beaux petits panoramas. Par contre, oui, ça a l'air un peu archaïque, un peu mou. Mais niveau décor, ça va.
The appendages are dripping with the fluid that's freezing.
Elles sont où les obolites?
There's the brain.
Returnal sous des mestes.
Various organs. The pseudocerebrum seems to
Non,
be
non, je crois pas que c'est de la
charge.
mocap. Hein. Non, non, ils ont pas le budget pour ça. Bah, normalement, demain, ça ira mieux. L'Ubi Forward, ça sera mieux.
Large amounts of bioelectricity.
Enfin, je dis ça, mais...
This gland is secreting the cryogenic fluid that's freezing the water. The cocktail of digestive acids is dissolving local plant life into.
Non, mais il y aurait des trucs demain. Vous êtes...
The process seems to be aided by bioelectricity.
Regardez, on peut faire de la glace. Passionnant.
That really was something. And last
Ah.
week, Opal had a chance to
Ça y est,
talk
c'est
to the
fini?
developers, Mad Head Games, and ask them
Non.
what their game was all about.
Non.
Hello there, guys.
Oh,
Joining me now
no.
from Novi Sad in Serbia is Ivan Zorkic, game director at Mad Head Games, who's going to tell us all about his new project. So, Ivan, what's Scars Above all about?
Hey there. Scar's about, an alien object appears near Earth, and a team of astronauts is, sent to explore it, to do a close-range scan. However, for some reason that I don't want to go into now, this results in them in an event which causes them to be transported to an unknown alien planet. So our protagonist, Kate Ward, who is a mission specialist, she's an astrobiologist with a background in engineering. She's one of the members of the team of astronauts, of the team called SCAR team, which is Sentient Contact Assessment and Response. So she is on the ship doing the scan, and she ends up on this stranded on this alien planet. So one moment she's with her team in the ship, and the other moment she's on this strange planet alone.
Il reste vraiment encore 20 minutes. Non, c'est pas possible. Il reste 20 minutes.
That her team is also stranded on the planet. She has to find them first.
Allez, alors, mes gens, c'était bien. Hein, franchement, on s'est bien fait chier. Alors, je vais vous donner le lien de IGN Expo. IGN met coups sur le plateau. Donc comme ça, vous allez pouvoir le voir, parce que, évidemment, c'est important pour vous. Et vous allez certainement voir des choses très importantes. Voilà, je vous donne le lien. Voilà, donc merci beaucoup. Bonne soirée. Et vraiment, merci. Merci infiniment. Et on a bien kiffé. Merci beaucoup. Allez, fais un raid et Mister MV. Alors attends, mais attends, lance un raid. Mais j'ai pas Mister MV. Attends. Allez, Mister MV. Allez. Mais je pense pas qu'il les a activés. Voilà, je lance le raid. Merci MV. Merci beaucoup. Merci à tous. Et à bientôt. Et dites à MV courage. Voilà. Dites-lui courage surtout. Merci beaucoup. Allez, merci infiniment. Allez, au revoir. Bisous. Allez, ciao, ciao.